If you're planning your first trip to China in 2026, this video could save you a lot of unnecessary stress. Most first-time visitors don't make big mistakes, they make small planning mistakes. They can that slowly ruin the experience. Too many cities, the wrong visa type, train tickets booked too late, no mobile payment setup. China is incredible, but it rewards preparation. Hi, I'm Zhiwei. For the past 10 years, I've been helping travelers plan smart trips to China and avoid the common mistakes first-time visitors often make. In this video, I will walk you step by step through how to plan your first trip the smart way. Let's start with the part that confuses everyone: visas. People often get confused about the different visa options for China: transit visa-free, 30-day visa-free, or the regular visa. So let's break this down clearly and figure out which one actually makes sense for you. If you're from one of over 50 eligible countries, you may stay in China for up to 240 hours. That's 10 days without applying for a visa in advance. But here's the key: you must be traveling from country A to China and then onward to country C. China cannot be your final destination. This works well if you are planning a short city visit, maybe Beijing, Shanghai, or Xi'an, and just want a quick introduction to China. However, if you think about a longer holiday and want to visit more than 3 cities, especially across different regions, then the 30-day visa-free policy is usually a much better fit. Let's look at how the 30-day visa-free actually works. Many European countries, as well as Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, and several South American countries currently qualify. It's designed for tourism and short-term visits, and this is important, visa-free doesn't mean unrestricted access. You cannot walk, you cannot overstay, and certain regions still require additional permits. For example, Tibet requires a Tibet travel permit. This cannot be applied for independently. A licensed travel agency must submit the application about 20 to 30 days before travel. Now, if you don't qualify for visa-free entry, or if you simply want more flexibility, then the regular tourism visa is the safest and most flexible option. A regular visa allows longer stays, multiple entries if needed, and it does not require onward travel to a third country. It does take more preparation, since you will need to apply in advance through a Chinese visa center. But for longer, more complex trips, it often gives you greater peace of mind. So before you book your flights, take a moment to confirm which visa category applies to you. This one step alone prevents most entry problems. Then let's talk about the itinerary. Here's where most people go wrong. They plan China like they would plan Europe: Beijing, Xi'an, Shanghai, Tibet, all in 1 week. But China is huge. Getting from one city to another takes real time. Instead of asking, how many cities can I fit in? Ask yourself, what kind of experience do I actually want? Let me give you a few simple road ideas that work very well for first-time visitors. If you love history, I'll suggest starting with Beijing and Xi'an. Beijing gives you the big icons: the Forbidden City, the Great Wall, and the deep imperial history. Then Xi'an adds the terracotta warriors and that ancient Silk Road story. Honestly, 7 to 9 days is just right for this kind of trip. If you're more curious about modern China, then Shanghai and Hangzhou work really well together. Shanghai feels fast, global, energetic, balanced the 7 to 8 days plan. If you're interested in Tibet's culture and the spiritual side, then Lhasa and the Tibetan Plateau feel completely different from the rest of China. Monasteries, open landscapes, high altitude, life just moves at a slow pace there. And if you prefer dramatic landscapes without huge crowds, look at the Silk Road regions in Gansu and Qinghai. Desert views, rainbow mountains, vast open spaces. It's the kind of place that makes you feel small in a good way. Notice something? None of these roads try to do everything. Fewer cities, more depth, less running from place to place. That's when your trip stops feeling stressful and actually starts feeling meaningful. China's transportation system is actually very good. High-speed trains are fast, clean, and comfortable. But tickets do sell out, especially during holidays, so try to book 1 to 2 weeks in advance whenever possible. For longer distances, flying is usually more practical. Just to make sure your passport name matches your ticket exactly. And one more important thing, mobile payment is everywhere. Alipay and WeChat Pay are used for almost everything. Taxis, small restaurants, even street vendors. Set it up before you arrive. Let's talk about budget. China can actually be very affordable if you plan it well. In major cities, a comfortable middle-range hotel usually costs around $60 to $120 per night. In smaller cities, it's often cheaper. Food is generally very reasonable. A good local meal can easily be under $10. Transportation really depends on distance. High-speed train tickets between major cities usually range from about $50 to $90. For an 8 to 10-day mid-range trip, a realistic total budget is somewhere between $1,200 and $1,700. Where do most people overspend? Last-minute bookings to many domestic flights. So, smart routing makes a big difference and protects your budget. A quick practical note. Google services may not function normally. Download offline maps before arrival. In major hotels, English is usually fine. In smaller cities, not so much, so having a translation app helps. China is generally very safe, even for solo travelers. But of course, just use normal travel awareness, the same common sense you use anywhere. And public holidays, they are serious here. If you can avoid Golden Week, it gets extremely crowded. And here's an important mindset shift. China isn't difficult, it's structured. Once you understand the system and follow it, everything works surprisingly well. China is one of the most fascinating countries you can visit. Ancient history, modern cities, wild landscapes. But the truth is, your experience really depends on how you plan it. If this helped you, consider subscribing. I'll keep sharing clear and practical China travel advice here on Tangled Travels. See you in the next one.